Hello and welcome back to Alyena's Kitchen, where today we are going to be making strawberry lamingtons. These lamingtons are so delicious and they're also beautiful. They're great for Easter, baby showers, or anything that you want to be pretty and pink. So let's get started. The first thing we are going to start with making our lamingtons is sifting together the dry ingredients. So I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour, which I'm going to be adding in, along with half a cup of corn flour, as well as 1 tablespoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of salt. So now we're just going to sift this together and so it's light and fluffy. Now that I've sifted together my dry ingredients, I'm just going to give it a stir, making sure that everything's fully combined, and then we can move on to our wet ingredients. We're working with a lot of butter. We actually have 1 cup, or this is 2 sticks of butter, and we want this to be room temperature so it's slightly softened. And we're just going to cream this together with our sugar. And we're using 2 1/4 cups of sugar, and we're just going to cream this together until it's light and fluffy. Now we can add in our eggs, and I'm going to set my mixer to a low speed and add in my eggs 1 at a time, and today I have 3 eggs. Now we can add in our egg whites, and I have 3 egg whites that I'm going to be adding in, along with 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Now we can start adding in our dry ingredients, and I'm going to go back and forth on a low speed with mixing in my flour and adding in a 3/4 cup of whole milk. I found this dessert when I was in Australia backpacking for a few months, and I absolutely fell in love with lamingtons. They're so delicious and so light and fluffy, and I love the chocolate ones, but then I saw that they also can make them with strawberry, and I was like, that's so pretty, we have to make this, and they're so delicious. I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and I'm going to be baking my cake for about 35 to 40 minutes. But the first thing we have to do is put it in the pie tray. So I've buttered my pie dish, and I've also laid down some wax paper to make sure that it doesn't stick, because I hate when things stick. So let's pour it in. Now I'm just gonna go pop this in my oven. While your cake is baking in the oven, we can start on our strawberry glaze. For this glaze, all you really need is a blender and a saucepan, and I'm going to start with adding 1 cup of water to my saucepan, and we're not having the heat on right now, it is off, along with 1 1/2 teaspoons of gelatin and our granulated sugar. And I'm just going to stir this together, and then we're gonna let this sit for about 5 minutes, and then we'll turn on the heat. So give it 5 minutes. Now we can turn our burner to a low heat, and we're just going to cook this until all of our sugar and gelatin are completely dissolved. We're gonna pour our sugar mixture very carefully into our blender. Ooh, I did it. Along with our strawberries. And today I have about half a pound of strawberries, which I just sliced up. And we can just completely blend this together until it's smooth. Now I'm just going to strain my strawberry mixture to get out any seeds. The next ingredient is optional, but I highly recommend it. It's adding in some rose water essence. I love rose water. I think it adds such a delicious floral flavor. And today I'm adding in 1 teaspoon of rose water essence. And then we can move over here where I have 2 cups of powdered sugar, which I've already sifted, so it's nice and light. And to that I'm going to be adding in 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Get every last drop. And I'm just gonna give this a slight mix. And to our powdered sugar, we can also add in our strawberry syrup. Here we go. And now I'm just going to mix this together until everything's combined, and then we can set this in our fridge for about 30 minutes and it will thicken up slightly. And by that point, our cake should be nice and cooled and ready to dip in it. Okay, and here we have our beautiful cake. And now all we have to do is flip it out and cut it, and actually a few more steps. We're not done just yet. So now I'm just going to take my knife and go all around the corners to make sure that it's not sticking before I flip it out. There we go. She is a beauty, if I say so myself. I'm going to cut off the hard edges of my cake, and then I'll continue cutting it into squares. I'm just going to move this excess cake off to the side. If you want, you can make some quick and easy cake pops with that, or just eat it on the side, which I'm probably going to do. So now we can continue cutting our cake into little squares. The size is really up to you. If you want them smaller, just cut them smaller. If you want a good serving size, cut them a little bigger. So let's chop them up. Now it is time to put together our Lamingtons. So I have my strawberry syrup, which I just took out of the fridge, as well as 2 cups of coconut flakes, which I'm going to be dipping my Lamingtons into. So you can either use your hands. Today I'm using 2 forks, and I'm going to pick up my cake, dip it, give it a good bath in the strawberry syrup, and then put coconut all over it, roll it up. You can use desiccated coconut or coconut flakes. I'm using coconut flakes today, and it is a bit bigger. It's really up to you on this one. All right, I can't wait to have a bite. So we are tasting them now. But when they look so good and the cake looks so fluffy, which I love. Wow. That was a big bite. But that's so delicious. It's so fruity, that strawberry, and also with that lightness of the cake. I absolutely love this dessert. Sorry, I choked a little bit. And some coconut right there. I absolutely love this dessert. I think it's so tasty, and it's also so pretty. Look at it, it's pink. So please let me know if you try this dessert and what you think in the comments down below. Also, if you love desserts as much as I do, there should be a playlist right here or over here. That one's up to my mom. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you next week. Bye. I'm going off to eat all these.